125 million people continue to be exposed to asbestos in the workplace.
So there's a big cost to humans using asbestos in dollars and lives.
Research that goes into these decisions has to be directed by independent, unconflicted scientists.
It's not something that just affects workers, it affects everyone.
Saving one life is great, but saving many more is what I hope to accomplish.
Making a profit off of people's pain and lives is wrong.
We can't quit, not as long as there are hundreds of thousands of people still to be diagnosed.
Ban the asbestos once and for all.
I want to wonder, what do you do with a one-week vacation? Well, for Ellen, my dear friend, she takes a vacation and she comes here to work this conference. She's unpaid, full of love, gives everyone so much time and attention, and this is a vacation. I don't know how that's possible, for Ellen. And so please thank my dear, dear friend. It's not our vacation.
Thank you. And I have to say that I have an employer that gives me 2 days of community service time, so I just want to thank them for that, if they're tuning in. So good morning, everyone. I hope you enjoyed last night. Congratulations to all the award recipients. So it was a wonderful evening and really enjoyed being with everyone. This is my 7th year with ADAO and supporting the team with conference planning. Linda and I start like the year before and lay out all the things we have to get done. So it's been a great journey, and I love meeting all the new people this year and the people that come back every year. So we have a great agenda, and we're going to hear from several speakers. Dr. Lemon, Dr. Castleman, Marilyn will be coming up. Jill Cagle will provide some entertainment for us, and then we'll have our candle lighting. So I'd like to bring up at this time, where is he, Mr. Lemon?
Thank you, Ellen. Thank you, Linda, for another great conference. We've accomplished a lot in the last couple of days, actually more than a couple of days, but this week. And I just want to thank all of you for taking the time on your weekend to come to Washington, D.C. and help us to ban asbestos in the United States. Just a quick update, and you've heard this through the conference, but asbestos is banned now in close to 60 countries, but not in the United States. And if there's one message that I want to get out, that is, I want all of you to contact your Congress people to support the Alan Reinstein Ban Asbestos Now bill. We need it. This country needs it. If you looked at the New York Times today, there's a large article on Russian asbestos and how they're bringing asbestos into the United States, or they want to bring asbestos into the United States. And unfortunately, we don't have the mechanism with the current administration that I believe will stop it unless we raise our voices and say something about stopping asbestos coming back into this country. You saw yesterday some of the devastation. We've known that asbestos killed a lot of people, and it's always been the number of 14,000 to 15,000 people a year. But more recently, with better statistics and better accounting, we know that that number is almost tripled. And it was recently published that some 40,000 people a year die in the United States of an asbestos-related disease. That's totally unacceptable. And yesterday I showed you a slide that said 213 people in the next 2 days while we're here are going to die. Just think, if you had 213 people dying, that's equivalent of about 2 plane crashes. So consider a big jet crashing yesterday, a big jet crashing the day before. Wouldn't the country be upset about that? Why aren't they upset about 213 people dying in the last 2 days from an asbestos-related disease. We need to do something about it. So I'll stop with that soapbox and go back to talk about the ADAO. 15 years ago, we met at the National Press Club. I heard about this meeting, and as you see, I think Barry's picture, where are you, Barry? He's right behind me. He's kind of hard to see, but Barry was there, and I heard about it, and I contacted Linda and Alan about getting involved with ADAO. One of the best decisions I've made in my life was to come to that meeting. And, you know, once I got there, Linda has claws, and you don't get away. And I've been with ADAO for the last 15 years. It's been very rewarding. We've accomplished a lot. We've done a lot. You'll see a couple people, Les and Gayla, who have been mentioned in the meeting over the last 2 days from Libby, Montana. We have representatives from the Card Clinic here today from Libby who have been very active with ADAO. And we have our outreach to other areas. And Marilyn's going to talk to you about some of her experiences, and her children have been coming to the meeting with her almost every year for 15 years. And again, it's amazing. They're this big now. They used to be that big, just like Emily, as you see in the front row. So we've come a long way in the last 15 years. We've done a lot. There's a lot of outreach. We have G-Band. We have moved around the world. Linda travels too much, I think, but she's always on the road. I call up and I talk to her, and I think she's in Los Angeles, where she's supposed to be, but she's in Washington, D.C., or she's in Tokyo, or she's in some other part of the world. And it's just amazing to me how she gets around and makes contact. And we now have connections and people in G-Band throughout the world. And we're making a difference. We just need to make a difference here in the United States. And that's one of the problems. We haven't made as big a difference as we would like, but that's attributable a lot to the political climate. I mean, it's not necessarily that we haven't tried, because we try like hell. But we need to continue to talk to our congresspeople and tell them asbestos is still killing people. It's not something of the past. You know, when I go out and talk to people in Georgia, that's the United States Georgia, not the Soviet Union Georgia, even though you might think I'm from there. But anyhow, I go to talk to people in Georgia, and they say, asbestos, what is that? Or, oh, that was banned years ago. So many people believe that asbestos was banned. It's not been banned. You can still go out and buy brake linings that have asbestos in them. You know about the children's toys. Each year we see something new. This year it was the children's products from Claro. And then we had crayons in the past. And it's just amazing to me that these products get into the United States, most of them manufactured in China. They get in the United States, they have asbestos in them. We need to stop all of this. And 15 years ago, that's when we started making a difference. And we are going to continue to make a difference as long as we can. And thank you all for doing what you do to help us make that difference. And that's all I'll say for the time being. Thank you.